Whoops. So do you just kind of figure out your own rotations and stuff, or do you go online and figure out a lot of information and discuss shit? I don't know if people have figured out like super optimal everything for every class yet. Although this looks like they're trying to streamline some of the classes a bit, so it might not be that hard to figure out. Then again, I haven't played any DPS this expansion, so I could be totally fucking bullshitting there. But cool. Yeah, I've never messed around with extreme stuff. Or, you know, when it was new in that game. Done my time on that with WoW. I don't really have much interest in doing it in another game. Guess that's just gonna be a shortcut. Better be some good fucking Ruby amounts in here, dude. Waste my time doing this shit. Yeah. Okay, I guess. Oh, nice, man. You're gonna play 3 houses? I want to play it, but I feel like I should play some of the older ones first. Although this one seems like the biggest departure. It has a lot more focus on the social shit. It'll let me know how it is, man. I've heard it's decent. Maybe good if it comes in on time. No problems getting physical shit on there, you know, your postal, but better physical than not, I guess, man. I enjoy getting shit physically when I can. Not that I buy too many games these days. I rent a lot. No, it is with Nintendo? Oh, yeah. Like nostalgia bullshit or actual, like, return to the roots with, like, gameplay and stuff? I don't know if it's just like a bunch of, you know, nods to the old games or if it's actually bringing a lot back. Really just make the same game as the previous one. True enough. tumbleweed, man. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Fire Emblems yet. I just want to start with probably Shadow Dragon. I was just gonna start with the first games in the series, but then just insert the remakes wherever there is one. So I'd probably play Shadow Dragon, then Echoes of Valentina, because I think that's a remake of Gaiden, right? And then I'd play the fan translated one, sequel to Shadow Dragon on the DS. And then just go from there. After that, there's not many remakes. So. Genealogy of the Hidden War, whatever. Yeah, I don't know much about any of them. I just know some of the names. Shadow Dragon's not good. Yeah, but you play that one or the original game, you know? Like, if I just want to start with the first one, I feel like Shadow Dragon. I don't need to be like turned on to the series. I don't need to start with like the best one. I'd rather just start with the beginning and then work my way up. Like, I know the series is good. I don't mind playing a lesser game. I just don't know if I want to play like the NES or SNES one or whatever over Shadow Dragon. I've heard it's not that great though. I think the sequel is supposed to be a little better, the sequel remake, but that never came to the West, so I do fan translations on that. I don't know how good Echoes of Valentina is as a remake for Gaiden, but we'll see. Oh yeah. I need to just start the series, so that way I kind of feel like jumping into one here and there. As tactical games, like, there's just parts of them that don't seem as cool to me. Like, I know they're good, but there's just kind of like annoyances that make me always want to do like an Advanced Wars game first, or a Final Fantasy Tactics game. Like permadeath and like having to share the load on XP kind of seems like a chore. I'm sure when you play it, it's not that big a deal, but seems like it's kind of bait for resetting a lot. Or having a wiki next to you. Although I'm sure on normal difficulties it's not a big deal. I've only watched like lunatic streams and shit. So. Okay, yeah, for sure. That's fair enough. That's good of you to say. That's what I've gathered, for sure. That's, you know, it's not going to be like a good way of judging the rest of the series. I mean, the ones I'm looking forward to are the Game Boy Advance ones and the Ike ones. I'll play the rest too, but those are the ones I'm kind of pumped for. The only one I've ever played was like a third of the one with Hector in it, in Elliowood. I remember this being one of the few dungeons I thought was pretty cool when I originally played this, but it's been, you know, 8 years, so I don't know, maybe I won't. I think it's just the novelty of the ship thing and all this water kind of stuff. Skipper's Treat. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. I'd probably use those. I'm not one who's really akin to having permadeath. I'm just more like a pain. Okay. It's pretty deep in, but it's alright. I just remember really liking the animations on the Game Boy Advance games. That's about all I remember. And Hector was the boss. Well, this is probably why I liked it. I can just move it a bit. Ooh, nice. Feels good. Oh, that's fine. I'm used to that in a lot of RPGs and shit. Yeah. It's funny because that's what I remember 8 years ago as being the case. Like, this being the good stuff. Funny how 8 years ago, like, you think, like, you know, maybe sing a different tune, but I feel about the same way. Yeah, the next one I remember being cool. How about the random rolls in those games? Do those ever fuck you really hard, or do they generally end up being the same unit by the end? I know you get random rolls, and I'd never let that dictate anything. I know there's a lot of characters who just suck, and some are really good, but that's just something I'd figure out as I went. Curious how annoying random stat ups are in that. I'm sure to like a pro, it's more annoying than somebody who's new. Probably not very noticeable. Word Shadow Dragon just has a lot of like annoying level design. Like a lot of same turn reinforcements bullshit and just really weird triggers and stuff like that. Do they get cocky? Cocky, huh? How do you get cocky in Fire Emblem? They just rely on the RNG instead of like doing proper leveling and shit. If they have a 10% don't go on, assuming it won't happen. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm generally an unlucky fellow. I always feel like, so I'm used to that. I'd always expect the worst outcome, probably. Like how these are just like the same things out of Twilight Princess. That and it's the same fucking sound effect. Here they didn't accidentally do Claw Shot. I mean, Claw Shot's I guess a little more dynamic than Hook Shot. The problem with Claw Shot compared to Hook Shot is Hook Shot you could kind of... The way it was meant to be used was you could kind of shoot a little bit of anything, where Claw Shot tends to have more like really defined areas and not as many of them. Fuck. She's it. Oh my god, dude. The electricity is just fucking annoying. Just fuck him, dude. Skip him. Every time you cut one of them, they fucking instantly go fucking jackass mode. And they instantly fucking come back together. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I figure they're not probably like giga hard or anything. I mean, I assume all of them have like difficulty modes and shit you can work with. I mean, I'm not like worried that I'm gonna have like trouble. Yeah, I'm just more worried like they're gonna be like annoying as fuck, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping in Breath of the Wild too. We're gonna get more kind of cool traversal items like that, and stuff that'll let you kind of have more interactive dungeons and stuff too. I like Breath of the Wild a lot. I think there's a lot of really cool things they could add, and a lot of big changes they could do. But as it stands right now, I think it's fine. But I do think the more traditional, you know, dungeon type of shit. Items would be cool. Perma upgrades and stuff like that. What is this dude on, man? The fuck? Ravioli's Gale. Okay, I guess we'll switch. That must mean something. Yeah, but you get that possibly as your last upgrade. I got mine at the very end of the game, which kind of like, I mean, I already had everything else at that point. It's a cool ability for sure, but it's not exactly something you're going to use for a large chunk, depending on how you like to play. Rock's cape rather than the sail and gale magic, yeah. That'd be kind of cool. I think like a rock cape, kind of like a long jump sort of deal, would be kind of interesting. Like more of a horizontal, just kind of like leap. You'd have to design the map to have more kind of gaps and shit. Or maybe not. Maybe just a way to move quickly. On the ground a little bit. We don't have the horse sort of deal. They could do cool stuff like that. Yeah, like a hook shot would be cool. It would really depend on the level design though. I mean, maybe some of those items are just going to be for, you know, trials and dungeons, you know? That's fine too. They could just have, you know, new traversal mechanics and physics stuff, and then maybe have some items to make more interesting dungeons and shit. I would definitely like more depth of world, you know? More side stuff to do, and more cool, just cool stuff. Like, I liked the trials and the shrines a lot. The Koroks were cool, but that's kind of like, you know, those are the breaks. That's about all there is. I liked it a lot. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I think if I had the same exact thing again, that might be a little... I would still enjoy it, but I'd be kind of like, you know, it'd be cool to see a little bit more of a merger of ideas there. Cliff turn, hook shots, retreating off the edge. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, like, you know, have the hook shot be more creative with like, you know, the physics. You can hit the trees and, you know, certain other materials and interact with items and monsters and shit. They could figure something out, you know? And then be able to have that stuff in a more, like, fleshed out dungeon. Yeah, Koroks are fun. It just sucks they're kind of the only thing outside Shrine. What's this dude's fucking deal, man? I need like a shield of my own or something. Dude, shut up. Lady, I know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like that you don't have to get all of them, you only have to get like a third of them. I thought they were fine, yeah. I just would like more in-depth side content. Think like, you know, Majora's Mask and shit. Kind of more NPCs and cool little mini games, maybe, and places to go and shit. Yeah, for sure. The game doesn't really have that many abilities. I mean, you start with everything you get, and it's very well designed around those things, but you know, the one thing I always see people talking about is wanting a little bit more of the traditional mixed in there, and I think that'd be cool when they can do it. Oh, you climb over it. I need to fight him. Yeah, I like hookshot better than paw shot in practice. I thought how they handled the hookshot and like Ocarina and stuff was really good. You can use it on a lot of stuff. It had a lot of cool uses in dungeons and stuff, and a lot of materials you could hit it with, but they're fun. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. With claw shots, it's very, very visualized where exactly you're gonna shoot, and there's only a few places you can really do it. Where hookshot was a little bit more, I feel like, open to kind of do what you want. Like, yeah, you can shoot this material, but I feel like, and I mean, hookshot's old though too. You know, like they could take the hookshot idea and really kind of go with it a little more. And people like the hookshot. I mean, I like the hookshot because I mean, I gotta, you know, go shooting my dude fucking 20 miles away, and I think that's cool. Yeah, I mean, claw shot could grab like poles and shit like that. They could do stuff. I mean, you could have like a claw shot, hook shot like combo like this, and just make it different, but cool and satisfying. Yeah, exactly. Where claw shots are just kind of like, I don't know. I think hook shots are cool because like it doesn't have to tell you where it is. You kind of have to just kind of figure where it is a lot of the time. I mean, there were those big black targets in those games too, but it always felt like you were kind of like picking where to go, and it wasn't just telling you where to go, like you figured it out. Where these are just kind of, I mean, they're just big fucking targets. That's lame. Hasn't seemed to caught on with that yet. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that because they did have a lot of really, you know, unique physics things in Breath of the Wild, and new cool ways that everything interacts together. Like that was what was cool about Breath of the Wild. Like everything could interact in really cool fucking ways. I think they could do something cool like that with more traditional stuff. You know, like a more mountainous area with a lot more like kind of like, you know, spires and mountains, or like more castle-y kind of areas where you could actually have a bunch of like, you know, free things to hookshot around on and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. That just took so long to get ready, dude. Oh. They auto put away. The one time they auto put away the whip. Jesus, dude. Why have him sit there for that long? Attached to anything? Yeah, I mean, you can make it like that. I think making it more something that you just use at certain spots would be cool. I mean, either a limit or like, you know, yeah. I think just having good map design with them would make them really good. You know, more like weird ravines and kind of like collection of like tall, like bundled together elevated areas or buildings. You know, buildings would be good. I think you could make it work for sure. I mean, you'd have to think about it because they put a lot of time into thinking about the physics and the abilities in Breath of the Wild. You just have to do the same with something like Claw Shot. Or just say fuck that and just separate how it all works. And just have fucking dungeons kind of, they're only used in dungeons kind of thing. Kind of like, you know, Twilight Princess, the fucking gear. Really only used in dungeons, you know, there's not much other use for it, but you know, you could do that too, I mean. 3D vertical maze based on your claw shot chain length? Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I could see you being able to upgrade the chain length. I mean, they did that in Ocarina of Time. You get the short shot, and then throughout the game, you know, you get the long shot, right? Like, you get normal hook shot, then you get long shot. Like, they could do something similar. I didn't ride them around with a Beyblade. Yeah, it's one of those items that's just kind of there, you know. They didn't really. They just kind of wanted to make an item, and it didn't matter if it like was amazing for the whole game, which I mean is fine, right? I mean, item bloat isn't a huge deal as long as there's really cool items to use during most of your playtime, right? Like, if I always have something cool to use, who cares if there's like 1 or 2 items that just aren't useful, right? But if there's like nothing, then that kind of sucks. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, mana. No doubt. Yeah, it's really cool in that dungeon. And then you do all those cool like ricochet puzzles and stuff. Like, I liked it a lot. Oof. How about some hearts, dude? What happened to dropping more hearts? Domination sucked. Yeah, we were talking about how that was probably the most boring part of Twilight Princess, sadly. I still like the Temple of Time better than the one in this, but definitely one of your weakest skills. The thing with the claw shots too is like, you didn't shoot the hook shot in like, you know, rapid succession that often, but because you didn't do it all the fucking time, when you did do it, it kind of felt cooler, you know? Because you are a little more grounded. Of course, in like, you know, if they did it in Breath of the Wild, you'd have to be able to do it a little more, but... You know, this is like, you just do like this big chain shot puzzle, or not puzzle, this like obstacle course, and you're just kind of like, okay, you know, sort of loses its luster pretty quick. Not to mention this is a reused mechanic, like, verbatim from fucking Twilight Princess. The same fucking PSAC dudes. The same fucking hook shot, or the claw shot fucking spots, like... Spit in Hyrule Warriors? I don't even remember it in Hyrule Warriors when I played it. Gyro control too? Yeah, exactly. And I think gyro is a cool motion thing. You could be hook shotting off of horses onto other horses and shit, you know, that kind of stuff. They did cool stuff in Hyrule Warriors. It was fun. It was fun moveset. I don't remember that not either. Did it just spawn like a giant robot that smacks shit? Is that how it worked? Really likes that 90%. That guy Faya has absolutely no personality. Like, they haven't even tried to give her personality. Like, I get it, she's a robot. There's not many robots that are this big of a part of your game that don't actually get just a touch of like kind of like awkward robotic personality, right? It's literally just like a statistics game machine. Maybe it'll change, but it's very dull compared to like any other side character. Yeah, I'm pretty sure just whacking shit. Charming, yeah. I mean, I guess sometimes. I think you kinda have to create the charm yourself. I don't think they're really peddling much of it. We'll see though, maybe it's a little different. Oh, if there's a warp up here. I have to climb this again? Maybe there's nothing left up here. I would like to get that chest, but... Maybe I have to do like an air jump off that. Whatever, it's probably just a chest with fucking... I mean, it's not a heart. They show the hearts every time there's one. Alright. I think how else I got left to do. I'll get another drink and have the rest of the old calories. Yeah, like visually this is cool. The novelty of it actually just like riding around with a pretty decent feeling boat is cool, and then the dungeon actually being this like half boat thing is cool. Shame the rest so far hasn't been. Like, you know how we're changing the sand to water and all that shit? Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's not too shabby. Cute way of having poppin' too. If you're having any actual like performance issues. Multi-kill. Where what came from? Couldn't render all the water at once. It might be like a cute way of getting around popping. Wouldn't put it past him. I mean, it'd be a clever way of doing it. For, you know, two birds, one stone, but I could see it. I'm sure it didn't hurt the performance having it be like this. The shipyard. I don't remember this part. It's some Donkey Kong Country shit, dude. Super Mario Sunshine level that never was? Alright, we'll see when we get into it. Some of my blue coins would have been sacrificed for this. Is there gonna be like jumps and shit? That'd be cool. I wanna play Donkey Kong Country again. See, that'd be sick. They did a more turbo nozzle in that. It was just a few mini games that had it, or mini sections. Yeah, we should do Sunshine again too. Sunshine's one of my top games. Movement's so crisp. So crisp and so clean. And the levels are really cool for just kind of like freestyle. Platforming. What's up, my dude? Nope. Fuck reading. Oh, for sure, man. I mean, visually it looks fine because the art style. And gameplay-wise, it was always really crispy. No gimmicks. I mean, the flood's technically gimmicky, but it's a well done. It's not really a gimmick. I mean, it's just part of the core gameplay. The only thing I could ever lay into Sunshine for was that it felt like there were some levels missing, that they just turn into blue coins. But I mean, it's not like what's there is bad at all. You just wanted more. I mean, the levels all looked good. They're all different, even though they had like kind of the beach aesthetic. It's just good, man. Best 3D Mario, man. Easy, in my opinion. I'm a big fucking slut for like good feeling gameplay. After that's 3D World, and then Mario 64, baby. Then I guess Odyssey. Odyssey and 64 are pretty close together in my book. Galaxy's definitely at the bottom. Those are good too. There's really not many bad 3D Marios, man. Yeah, this shit's entertaining, man. Why couldn't they just have the whole game be like this desert section? Okay, use motion controls. You definitely don't need motion controls for this. It's not like the worst thing ever. It's fast. This reminds me of the minecart section, or the... Remember in Peanut Park or whatever it's called? Okay, one sec. Fucking focus here. Where you have the rocket balloon shooting fucking game. This is a lot like that. I could see that too, dude. I think this part would have been way better with balance support. What gimmicks? You could easily do that part with just the stick too, but... God, dude, can you imagine, man? They just went all out, did the balance board and motion controls to like move, you have to like lean and shit, and all this weird fucking bullcrap. How many games really went in on the balance board? It's just Wii Fit, right? I wonder how good of a fitness regimen that game really even had. Gina, man. This is the best zone, Andrew. You're not wrong. Nancy Kino. He's right. Only the rest was as good as this, right? Sonic Riders? Oh, did they have balance pad shit? Oh, didn't Tony Hawk have one? I thought Tony Hawk had like an actual like board though. Everything else, Kino? Whoa! Imprisoned to Yeah, we got that coming up soon, I think. Project 8 did, yeah. I need to do Tony Hawk too. Absolute fucking disaster. When does Tony Hawk like start being the shit? Like the Thug games are good, right? The normal Pro Skaters, like all those are good. Thug's good. I need to know when I gotta stop playing. Are they gonna reuse this guy? like reuse content too. At least this wasn't one of the worst bosses. It doesn't look like he's lacking in HP at all. If anything, he's looking juicier than before. Damn. Peak of the shark jump? Oh god. That's when they start doing the absolute crazy shit. Yeah, Tony Hawk's definitely one that jumped the shark, huh? That's a great video game example of that. Okay, I'll trash bin those. Just play up to Thug 2. I wonder if they planned on having it be named Thug as the shortened. Right, did I just come out of that with nothing? Stronghold of the pirates. This section isn't just full of backtracking like the last one. Like, hey, here's your new thing, dude. After a bunch of annoying swimming sections, you get to go back to the first dungeon again. What fun. This is all like new shit, interesting. It's almost like they should have just made the whole game like this instead of a fucking tedious mess of shit. We go back to the first dungeon and just retread fucking Farron Woods over and over again. Big Jow. And this guy's pretty Kino right here, man. Cinematic marvel. The pirate robot. Kino still Kino. Yeah, Farron Woods has quite a bit of fucking backtracking. You go through it the first time, you go through it again to get the 5 fucking dudes, you go through it again to get the fucking trial, you go through it again to fucking get to the first dungeon again, then you go through the first dungeon again. And I'm sure we're gonna go back there a 3rd time, or a millionth time, whatever it is. Yeah, really, you could've just had a visual change. I thought it got flooded at some point, but maybe that's later. Like, that'd be one thing if that was the only time you came back, but... The game just feels small as fuck, dude. Not that I need, like, massive worlds, but, like... I mean, pure actual space-wise, Ocarina's, I assume, like, would be smaller, but it feels like it's just more. Maybe it's because of how interconnected everything is, where this is just kind of like a couple instance areas slapped together. Playing your favorite game? Gosh, this game missed me. Well, cool. Yep. Well, we might not always say nice things about it, but still worth playing for sure. Yeah, I played it for the first time like 8 years ago, but I don't think I ever finished it. I want to finish it. It's one of the few Zelda games I haven't. Humans in more than one location? That's true. There's a little bit more depth to each area, I feel like, too. More things to find than just like a goddess cube every 10 years. This area is good, though. I like this area. The end's pretty cool. Yeah, I've heard it's pretty hard. Is this the only Zelda without a castle? 3D one? Or 2D? Did the Oracle games have castles? Link to the Past definitely did. I'm pretty sure Minish Cap did. 3D ones though. Wind Waker has Hyrule Castle, Ocarina has Hyrule Castle. Majora's Mask has Ikana Castle or whatever. Twilight Princess has Hyrule Castle. Breath of the Wild has Hyrule Castle. Breath of the Wild better than Skyward Sword? I would say so. This is a better traditional Zelda game. For what that's worth, but I'd say Breath of the Wild's a better game. Overall. It's just very different than traditional Zelda. This one feels pretty much like they just slapped Wind Waker and Twilight Princess assets together and threw motion behind it. So it's very traditional, which is cool. But... yeah, they're very different, but I would say that Breath of the Wild is a better game overall, in general. What is a traditional Zelda? I think to me, traditional Zelda is, you know, a lot of cool exploration, a lot of depth, you know, a lot of items you can get, permanent upgrades, kind of like RPG style, where you're kind of moving, you see your character progress, but you know, more through items than stats. More dense world, you know, dungeons, like puzzles, cool bosses, a plethora of fun items to use and shit. Breath of the Wild's focused mainly on really cool physics, big open world and exploration, not really on, you know, plethora of cool items or dungeons or, you know, side quests and, you know, NPCs and stuff. I mean, you could literally slap a different character as the main man in Breath of the Wild and I wouldn't think twice. Yeah, RPG is not a great way to put it. You know, just a progression of your character, right? Like, you see the hearts go up. I mean, you just want to get stuff in the old Zelda games just to get shit, right? Like, I don't fucking need the hearts. The games are easy as fuck. Like, but you want to get them, because it's usually fun to get them, too, you know? Like, there's a lot of side quests. There's a whole lot to do. I mean, like, you could just do Majora's Mask and just sit in fucking Clock Town for a very long time and just do stuff, and it's always, like, interesting shit. Breath of the Wild's kind of spread over the toast pretty thin, right? Like, it's more, it's got a different focus, you know? It's about traversing an environment, where other Zelda games are about kind of interacting in the world with a lot of cool ways in the world. It's got a lot of charm and NPCs and side quests and all that. And that's I'm kind of repeating myself and changing it up, but you know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's a big difference. Is he does get new stuff, but it's all very minimal impact. 90% of everything you get is right off the bat. And Breath of the Wild, which is fine. And I love Breath of the Wild. It's great, but like, you know, you're not getting any progression. There's not a whole lot of permanent upgrades. You can make your sack bigger. You can get more health and stamina. But outside that, that's pretty much it, you know, like... Where in these, you know, maybe this one's not the best example, but there's a lot of cool shit to get. A lot of side stuff. And you get that same sense of discovery in Breath of the Wild. You don't get that same sense of progression. Other than, you know, finishing the trials and stuff like that. One of the champion powers exploration really in that game is actually designed around that ability. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, you don't get like a permanent new sword, you know, you don't get any cool stuff like that. There's no new items or anything. I mean, you do get new armors, but they're not something you stack on your dude. They're something you choose to use. And I pretty much just use the bandana armor the entire time, which kind of makes any gimmick from the other ones useless, because it's like not really worth changing stuff. It's a cute idea. Destructible weapons I didn't hate either. It's a cute idea, but I'd much prefer getting something more permanent and make choices between more permanent upgrades or something. Those having some cave in and out of the way place, you can't immediately get to what you can. Yeah, kind of like a, I don't want to say Metroidvania, but you know, fun backtracking, fun re-exploration of areas and stuff. Breath of the Wild's very, you know, you can get it all right then. Which is fine in Breath of the Wild because it's so big you wouldn't want to have to like think about it, but... Oh, was there a lot of stuff you got cock-blocked in Breath of the Wild? I don't remember. Just as much Zelda as anything else, even though all of them are so different. Yeah, I mean, I still thought of it as a Zelda game too. But if you like I feel like if you try to break it down, it's definitely the biggest departure. I think a lot of the core Zelda mechanics, like it still felt like Zelda, but a lot of the core Zelda mechanics were kind of not there, or traditions or whatever. The combat was still the same. You know, how you used a lot of abilities was still the same. The kinds of puzzles were still similar. So it's very much second to second Zelda, but I think in the grander scheme of things, it changes a lot of stuff. Level design and dungeons and exploration. Well, what you're actually exploring for, and the depth of the map and stuff. I think depth of map is kind of the biggest thing. The old Zeldas are more of a Yakuza style, like small map, very dense, where Breath of the Wild spread out a little bit more. Not to the point of like some, you know, Ubisoft bullshit, but it's different. It'd be cool to have a little bit of both. Feeling world and characters? Yeah, for sure. They always have like really good charm, and like the art kind of feels, even though the art style changes a lot between them, they all kind of feel like they have a Zelda feel to it. That's kind of weird to explain. Even this game has great NPCs when there are some, right? They've got a lot of personality. They can be funny, or, you know, have unique cool things for you to do and shit. I think that adds a lot to it. Yeah, man, I mean, I'm not saying that we need crazy backtracking, but that's just one of the reasons it's very different, because that's a very big core part. I mean, even in this game it is, and this game's fucking fast half the time. I should probably play while I talk. But... yeah, I definitely agree with the Klitsu said. Even this game, which feels like it has the most different vibe out of most of the 3D Zeldas I've played, still has kind of like the Zelda feel. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a stamp of a lot of the same people who play it. Maybe it's like similar, you know, themes and like, you know, the Triforce and the swords and a lot of those kinds of focuses and a couple things of art that are similar. The Legend of Best Zelda. Yeah, this game doesn't have a whole lot of side stuff. There's only 24 heart pieces. Most of those you just kind of can get as you go. This game is very, very light on side content. It's another thing I lay against it. There's not a whole lot of stuff you can't get right away, and the side shit's really not that interesting. And there's not a shitload of it. In comparison to, you know, any fucking Zelda. I mean, maybe Breath of the Wild has technically more, not traditional kinds, but it has more side content. It's the same engine people were using since 2004. Yeah, it's very similar to TP. And a lot of it feels like it's kind of got like Wind Waker like sound and aesthetic choices too being used. But TP, like visually, gameplay wise, is definitely like it's the same shit. Like, don't let the motion controls fool you. This game is fucking like Black Princess to the max, man. But without half the cool shit I think Black Princess had. Well, I say that like that sounds like stuff that'll be less of an issue in future games. It's like I mean, I'm not criticizing games that haven't come out yet. I'm just talking about Breath of the Wild. I've said what I think Breath of the Wild should have in it too. Breath of the Wild 2 should have in it. Now they can easily upgrade the formula for Breath of the Wild. But I'm just talking about what's already out. I'm not gonna say it's like a flawless game because it has the potential to be a flawless game. Oh, absolutely, man. Like, oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, of course, yeah. That's all you're saying. I totally agree. That's what I'm saying is that Breath of the Wild is a fucking awesome game that has so much room for improvement. It's rare you see a game that wows me like that. Like everything is really unique and gives me a totally like new feel that I don't get from a lot of games anymore. And I could still see so many fucking improvements, you know. I think they did something really fresh. On paper it doesn't seem as fresh, but in execution, you know, they made exploration actually really fun to do. And I think they could build on that really easy. I think they got a cool new formula. That's why they're doing another one. I mean, usually they would just kind of do something totally new, but they're kind of pulling a Mario Galaxy 2 where they think they have a lot more they can do with the formula, which I think's fun. And I'm glad they're doing it. I hope they listen. I hope we're not on the same map in Breath of the Wild 2. That would really fucking suck. Unless they really change the map. People are talking like they're gonna be on the same map. I would be surprised if they just straight ripped an asset flip out, dude. Like, fucking hell, dude. Like, the budget they got, surely there's no way they just reuse the same map and just slap new shit in there like dungeons and stuff. I think making like a new land, even if it's a little smaller, but having more density of content would be totally fine. I don't want to re-explore the same thing. In a game that's super focused on exploration, you don't re-explore the same place. I really would be surprised if they did it. I know, I mean, I hope it's not called Breath of the Wild 2, that'd be fucking shit. I hope there's like a sub name or something. Yeah, I wouldn't be pissed. Bad names are like Wii U, you know? You don't even understand fully what the Wii U is. Wii 2 would have been better than that, you know? Like, that's a really shit name. I do mind that. Like, Breath of the Wild 2, like, it's not very cute, it's not very creative, but at the end of the day, it would sell because people know what Breath of the Wild is. I get it. It'd be cooler to have something a little more unique, but if they go with that, like, whatever. I think they would probably not do Breath of the Wild 2. Have they ever just done a 2 before? Yeah, I just call it that right now. I hope they release more info on it soon. I'd imagine the game would have a quicker turnaround, just because it's probably going to reuse a lot. Oh, Zelda. Was it called Zelda 2 Adventure Link, or is it just Zelda Adventure Link? That's right, Zelda 2. I forgot. I just played it too. I was like, did they do that? I'm like, they did do that, didn't they? It's called O22 a lot? Yeah. I'd be surprised if they called it Breath of the Wild 2, really. Let's go with the one you made up. Not Nintendo 2. Like NES, like the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Wii, the Wii U. It's like Nintendo's never had the best names. I mean, I guess for most of the time they're fine, but like a lot of the time they've had some missteps with the names. Super Switch Deluxe. Yeah, I wish we were still doing Super Ultra. Like, I wish N64 was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System 64, and then the GameCube's the Super Entertainment System, Nintendo Entertainment System 64 Cube, and then, you know, so on and so forth. The new Nintendo 3DS, yeah. Which works sometimes, but in like the case of the Wii U, I haven't seen something named so bad actually fucking make a big difference. I mean, most people, the people they were trying to get in on that were like the casual Wii audience, and they would have no idea. It doesn't evoke anything actually like different. Like Wii 2 would have been better. New Breath of the Wild. Freshest Breath of the Wild. Get like a gum fucking sponsorship. Yeah. And it's gonna be like New Super Mario Bros. Where they just make a new one of those every fucking month and they're shit. If I ever get a Switch, I'm just gonna buy a used one over there. That is a special edition. Yeah. Disney version, that's cool. Mario's a subscription service, yeah. Weeaboo. Weeaboo. I think most of the Zelda names have been good though. I mean, Majora's Mask is cool, Wind Waker, you know, Twilight Princess, they're good names, they work with the games. I'd be surprised if they just called it Breath of the Wild 2. But I guess since they don't do direct sequels super often, I could see it happening. It looks more of a direct sequel even than like Majora's Mask is. So it's like it's possible. We had a few Wii games. I mean, it did play the Wii. You could do the Wii, but yeah, it's kind of like. It had its own title, yeah. But it was a different enough game where they didn't just call it 2, you know? Like Breath of the Wild, like, it looks more sequel-y. I could see them just calling it fucking 2, but I really hope not. Like, Majora's Mask was very different. I mean, it was a sequel, like, story-wise, but and gameplay-wise, I guess it had a lot of similarities, but man, they really, it looks more different than Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be. We'll see. Oh, I remember when the fucking Wii, what was it, the Revolution or some shit, dude? Is that what it was going to be called? Oh, Jesus, dude. The Revolution.